Excuse me, sir. I'm reporting live from Urban Scoop on behalf of Tommy Robinson. I'm on his X and YouTube live channels now, and Gauci reports. Obviously, I see you're a passionate fan here. Do you live in the UK? Have you come over?
No, I'm actually from Nazareth, which is the largest Arab city in Israel, or one of the largest Arab cities in Israel. I'm an Arab citizen of the state of Israel and a fan of Maccabi Tel Aviv since 1996. I'm here because I want to shout the truth and the reality about our country. I'm here because I want to say that the fact that in 2025 in the UK, Maccabi Tel Aviv fan cannot come here because of their identity, because of who they are, who we are. This is something is unacceptable in UK 2025. It feels like we're going back to the 1940s. The 1940s, where Great Britain defeated the Nazis, and today, similar methods is happening inside Britain, and unfortunately, we are not seeing the authorities taking care of that. And I am worried. I am worried because I'm from the Middle East, and I know the mentality of the Middle Easterns. And what I see today inside the UK is the same that mentality that I resent and fight against, especially against the extremists in my society, in my country, in my region. And that's why when I see it happening here in Britain, I can't even comprehend, and I can't even deliver to you guys how I'm worried for the future of this great nation. So I really hope that in the future, in the very near future, things will be shifted, because if not, unfortunately, you know, they say London Bridge is falling down. If that happens, we're in huge trouble, because if the UK falls, it's going to be a domino effect. A domino effect.
So what would you like to see change in particular?
Look, here's the chance to say, anybody who is generalizing and talking about Muslims and generalizing all Muslims. No, we don't do that. But we do talking about extremists. And now let me quote actually, the foreign minister of the UAE. Not me, not anybody from here, the foreign minister of the UAE. And he said something very, very interesting about the Muslim brotherhoods. And he said this, and I quote, and check that quote from 2015 from Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, in an event that was there. And he said, there will come a day, there will be far more terrorists coming from the UK and Europe than the Middle East. That's what I'm scared, because what he's projecting is literally slowly happening. Wake up. We're not generalizing anybody. We don't need and we shouldn't generalize. But those extremists, you must be scared of them, and it must be worrying you, and you need to take care of them. How do you take care of them? Anyone who came here illegally and is extremist, deport. Anyone who came here legally, then make sure that he gets the Western values. Make sure that he adopts the Western values. And if he spreads the Middle Eastern values, there are so many amazing Middle Eastern values. But unfortunately is that extremists are spreading the bad values from the Middle East. And that's why I'm here. Because as a Middle Eastern, I'm going to shout it and tell you, I'm not ashamed to say that. Don't be ashamed to say that. The bad values from the Middle East, you need to kick them out. The great values, bring them in, why not? But also don't forget, show them the great values of the West. That's what I need to see.
Do you think it's too little, too late?
I really want to say no, it's not too late. But at the same time, the way that we're going, I'm really scared. But I hope that maybe, if something happened in the near future, it would be sort of like the last chance to change something. Because if not, it is going to be too late.
So I presume you've seen what's been going on in the UK the last sort of 48 hours in here with, what's going on, the reason for
Well, have you seen the signs? Well, first of all, here's the thing. I'm an Arab, and I'm proud to call myself a Zionist. You don't have to be a Jew to be a Zionist, by the way. You don't have to be a Jew to be a Zionist, okay? And I tell you that seeing signs, if you see a Zionist call this and this, so what do you want to do actually? Do you want to hit the Zionists? Do you want to kill them? You want to beat them? You want to make sure that they suffer? That's what you're trying to do? That's what you want to do by putting those signs? That's what happened to the UK today? Okay, you put those signs. Why the police are not taking those signs immediately? They're still all over the Villa Park.
Is that because the police?
Oh,
make
wait.
you feel scared?
I need to say one more thing, okay?
Yeah, go on.
Here's the thing. According to every poll, 95% of the Jews are Zionists. So basically what they're calling is to the extermination of the Jews. Does that remind you of something? 1940s? Nazis? Hitler? That's what happened to the UK? Who destroyed the Nazis? Come on, guys.
But then the people from the so-called far right get called fascists, but the people that are trying
But
to...
here's the thing. I have some sort of criticism, okay? And allow me to say that. Because when people generalize, they're actually playing to their own card. Because that's what the extremists want. They exactly want anyone who will generalize every Arab, every Muslim, and categorize him as a terrorist. Well, let me tell you something. Just for you to understand. Right now, as we speak, you have IDF soldiers, Druze, Christian, Muslims, and Jews. And if you don't believe me, just search it. And if you don't believe me, I have videos to show you. I actually fought in the IDF back in 2003, and I'm an Arab. And I was a commander over Jewish soldiers. Does that sound like an apartheid? But my message to you guys is do not generalize, because there's so many good people from all ethnicities, religions, genders, whatever you want. Don't generalize. But at the same time, make sure to call out those extremists. Make sure to point at them and talk at them, and actually make sure to deal with them. Because the way that they are, what they're doing is they're silencing the vast majority that they're not like them. And one last thing. I say minority, but if you go from just 10% from a million, that's 100,000. So the number is a lot, while the percentage is low. But that's the problem. Because people all the time try to sugarcoat it. And if you say something, they immediately use the card of generalization and Islamophobia and all that. So if I have a message to everyone who wants to fight for the UK, be smart about it. Be very smart about it. Do not generalize. Understand that there are good people from all ethnicities. And you need to focus on the extremists. They are low in the percentage, but a lot in quantity because of the number.
Tommy Roberts will be watching this probably. So he recently had a state visit.
Yeah,
to
I
Israel.
saw that.
And some of the videos that I saw, he was there in the quarter where you had the Jews, you had the Christians, you had the Muslims.
Yep.
He interviewed normal locals, and they all seem to get on a day-to-day basis. This is probably something that we don't always see portrayed in the mainstream media.
Of course.
You know,
my life is completely different from what the media is saying.
Exactly. So there's a big thing against the mainstream media, especially within the UK. So in terms of his state visit to Israel, what do you make of it, and what do you make of Tommy Robinson in general, what he's trying to do for, say, the Jewish community?
So first of all, the fact that he came to Israel and he saw in his own eyes what's going on in Israel, that itself is very important in order to pass on the message. That's very good. But what I do want to say is that, you're talking about Arabs, Jews, Israel,
Christians.
I'm an Arab Christian. Okay, we have 145,000 Arab Christians. You have 140,000 Arab Druze, and you have 1.6 million Arab Muslims. Okay, you have a Muslim player playing for Maccabi Tel Aviv, Abu Farah. He's playing right now for Maccabi Tel Aviv. Okay, you have Arab fans, Jewish fans, and my message is: go and see what Tommy saw. Come to Israel. Visit, and I'm happy that he can share as much as possible with as many people there is. But it's just as this. Let me talk to you about the media. BBC, guys, there's a leaked report that they literally partnered with terrorism. They spread terrorist messages. This is not an assumption. It's fact. And we should sue the BBC.
Well, we all know that the BBC are part of the establishment propaganda. So everything that they, even if you go on their website now, if any of you go onto BBC News website, you'll find that 80% of their stories will be based overseas. There'll be nothing about what's going on in the UK.
Do you know what happened?
They avoid a lot of the stories that actually happen in the UK. They choose their narrative. They even recently got found out with the through Panoramas, which is their documentary side of BBC, and they adopted a piece with Donald Trump. They put two pieces together, which created basically incitement. If you remember that?
But let me tell you more than that. About me personally, okay? I'm a journalist, I'm an activist. I'm a known activist in Israel. Arabic is my mother.
Give a shout out for your channel and who you are.
So my name is Yoseph Haddad, Yoseph, and then Haddad. And the thing is, the BBC in English tried to call me, or actually they got my name to speak about the game, about Maccabi Tel Aviv. Once they realized who I am, they found an excuse and they said, you're too old to speak about it, we're looking for young people. That's the thing, they don't want to speak with an Arab fan of Maccabi Tel Aviv. The second they realize I'm an Arab fan of Maccabi Tel Aviv, they say, oh, you're too old for the interview, thank you very much. And I have it documented, so if they lie, I have it on my WhatsApp messages.
Well, we know why.
Yeah, right.
You don't fit their narrative, but...
I know. But you know what? I'm going to keep shouting. I'm going to make sure that everybody knows the truth about my country. Good. Because it's the best country in the Middle East. And you know what? Out of the 2 million Arabs.
That's a joke.
But you don't know.
That is a joke.
Do you speak Arabic? You're not even Arab. Get the hell out of here.
I'm Pakistani.
You're Pakistani, so don't talk about my country. Get out of here.
Go on, man. Go on.
Politics aside, you're not a Muslim. Politics aside, what's the village score going to be? What's the village score going to be?
It should be ashamed of yourself.
You're not an Arab.
Hey, it's going
you're not from Israel.
70,000.
You're not from the territories. You're not from the Middle East. Don't lie.
You're over that side, man.
You don't know my identity. You don't know who I am. Get out of here. No, he's coming. No, he's not here. He's not here.
We were over there, they were getting dragged around, mate.
Now they've come over and infiltrated the police rescue.
I'm coming to defend genocide.
They were getting dragged around over there.
Humanity.
Okay.
Here's another
Off your trot.
who does not even know the truth and the reality about my country, but shout like a zombie because that's who he is. They shout like a zombie. I'm literally standing in front of him as an Arab citizen of Israel, living my own reality in Israel, and he wants to tell me how I live. Shame on you. Shame on you. I live in Israel, not you. And I'm going back to my country. I'm not running away from country. Why all those people who were not born here are here? Why are they not living in their country? Anyone who is born here and he's a Pakistani bred, fine, amazing. You're in your country. But if you're a Pakistani coming from Pakistan, why you're not going back to Pakistan?
Who gave you Israel?
Who gave you Israel? Go back. I'm going back to my country.
Who gave you Israel? Huh? Who gave you Israel, bro? Who gave you Israel? Who gave you Israel?
Go away. Fuck off.
That's what they got over there.